biggest thing killing your conversions isn't your sales script or your marketing budget, but it's actually your digital ghost. You get a referral, you run an ad, you post on social media, and then silence. You ever wonder what happens in that gap? Well, that's simple. They're Googling you. And what they find, what they don't find out becomes the final verdict on whether they trust you enough to even reach out. Hey everyone, I'm Linnea Carver and welcome to my channel. For those who are new here, I am a coach, I'm a strategist, and I help high achievers who feel stuck in a traditional path find the clarity and courage to build a business and a life that creates a massive impact. My entire mission here is to ditch the generic playbook and build something real. So if that's what you're here for, make sure you subscribe and turn on all your notifications because today's conversation is a masterclass in doing exactly that. Because I get to sit down with Shane Chase from Oggvo. He is a man who has built his career on mastering this invisible moment of truth. And we're gonna deconstruct the new review economy and show you not just how to build a 5-star reputation, but how to turn that reputation into your most powerful conversion tool. What if your online presence could do the selling for you? And what if the secret to all was less about gaming the system and more about being radically authentic? We're about to find out. If you are committed to building a business that creates a real and lasting impact, make sure to watch this conversation because it is about to reframe everything you've ever thought about why your phone rings. So let's take a look at some of the best moments from our conversation.
In today's world, we are living in what we call the review economy. There are 3 ways to drum up business: referrals, advertising, and lead generation. All of them are impacted by your reviews. When seeking recommendations, people often turn to social media and trust their friends' suggestions. The business with the most positive reviews will likely get their attention, while a low review count can deter referrals and have them choose another referral that looks stronger. With print marketing and advertising, people often Google businesses before responding. If your reviews don't stand out, they may ignore your marketing materials. When calling prospects, if someone doesn't recognize your phone number, they may Google it. And if your reviews don't impress them, they might not call back. Oggvo automatically sends review requests by text or email to the people you've worked with over the years. This helps you gather positive reviews and boost your activity on your Google business profile. Oggvo helps boost your online presence and increase reviews on various platforms, ensuring potential customers are impressed by your business. With consistent activity going into your Google business profile each month, you become more relevant on Google and you begin to rank higher on Google Maps, making your business more discoverable and helping convert searches into customers. Now you have to ask yourself, is your online presence attracting business or is it deterring business right now? If you think you could look stronger online, we can help. At Oggvo, your customer's journey is our top priority.
Shane, I'm super excited to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you and I have met at kind of the weird circumstances, right? Like we got introduced by a mutual connection. Well, it's actually it's interesting how we met by referral too, and by like that organic connection too, because that's what you guys do. So it's kind of like kind of like inclusive organic. So Oggvo, I just learned the other day, stands for organically growing something visibly online. Oh man, I had it memorized. Okay, tell me, what does Oggvo stand for?
It stands for organically getting great visibility online.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't take credit for the acronym though. It's the founder, Sam Brown. Thank you, Sam, for giving me a job.
So do you know, like, what's the story of Oggvo? How did it come to be? You know, like, I'm always fascinated by people that like work in this space because it's like the visionary idea came from somebody, and I am obsessed with visionary stories. So what's the story of Oggvo?
So Sam Brown's uncle was a huge attorney in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
And he had his practice for a long time. At the tail end of his career, he, said, "Hey, I'm planning on retiring in this amount of years." And at that time, Sam is like just a very enthusiast when it comes to technology. The guy loves anything tech. He's very brilliant, very driven with tech. So when he was creating the software that Oggvo created, he was like, well, let me test this on you and your business because you don't have anything online. You don't have reviews. You don't have any presence. You don't have any profile strength. You have a website. So he tested it on his uncle and it worked so well and he had so much success with the tools that it cut his retirement goal in half. And he ended up retiring earlier. And then a couple years after actually retiring, he kept getting inquiries from online for people needing services. And he noticed that he was referring it out to his other attorneys and kind of just collecting referral checks while he's enjoying retirement. So Sam saw the opportunity and created the business. And we only worked with attorneys for the first year of business.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
And Sam knew, hey, we need to tap into other verticals. This is a solution that pretty much any business could utilize. And then it was kind of like a tic-tac-toe after that, vertical to vertical to vertical, testing out to see, it doesn't really fit with this vertical because of this compliance. And so we went through the ebbs and flows of that. And then Tom Ferry, they found Oggvo, vetted us. We started paying for a sponsorship. And that's, I think, really when we blew up in real estate. Since then, we presented our solutions to the big brands, the EXP, the Keller Williams, the Berkshire Hathaway, the Compass, the Remax. And they've allowed us to sponsor a lot of events in their worlds as well. And then we took it from there. And then it was lenders. And then it was contractors. And then restaurants. Your local based were in my neck of the woods. You ever heard of Pochi Bubble Tea?
Spell it.
P-O-C-H-I? O-C-H-I, correct.
No. I don't know why I asked you to spell it.
So, so they're a bubble tea restaurant. They have several locations. I think Kirkland, Linwood, Marysville.
Okay.
They're kind of spread out. The Linwood location, I employ anybody to Google Pochi Bubble Tea Linwood.
Yeah.
Okay. And pay attention to their reviews. How many do they have? When we got them as a client, we integrated with their POS system, the review software. So as soon as someone swiped that card after they purchased their beverage or snack, they would get that alert immediately on their device to leave a review, and then boom. So when we started with them, they had roughly around a couple hundred reviews. Now they're at 1,845 Google reviews.
Whoa. And how long have you been working with them?
I want to say, don't quote me, because I didn't sign up this account. I wish I did. I love bubble tea. 3 to 4 years, I believe.
Wow. And so now as I'm moving from like being a real estate agent, like I've done well with real estate, great with real estate. And so now I'm moving more into, my real passion, as you know, which is like teaching. I love teaching. I love helping. I love supporting other entrepreneurs and real estate agents. And so I'm noticing that like I actually not too long ago went and created a profile. Just as like, I've got to start, creating a Google business profile. And I had 97 views on my profile in 30 days. So like what should people know about like Google reviews? Like what are some cool stats that people should know about Google reviews and like why they're important?
I think that people have to understand that the Google business profile is the most powerful online asset and tool to utilize.
Why?
It's your digital business card to have two relationships, which you need to flourish.
Okay.
You need a good relationship with Google. Your business has to have a good relationship with Google, or else if you don't, you have to pay Google for services, which is not bad.
Like Google, you're talking about like Google ads, right? Like Google local service ads or pay-per-click ads or things like that. Okay.
Yeah, Google ads, Google services, they're very aggressive and they work. The reality is they're very costly, so you have to be prepared with that budget to be able to do it. The other benefit to that is it's also your digital business card and cheat sheet for the public. So history kind of has gone in the direction with our technology is a blessing. Let's just be honest, right? I mean, some of it does overwhelm us and we have to get comfortable and learn it. But at the end of the day, if someone is struggling to find a reason to do business with you, that's a problem. So that Google page is their one-click cheat sheet to get to everything about the business, from reputation to product to services to social media, videos, content, etc. So if you have both of those relationships in good standings, pretty much you're going to have a lot of smooth sailing in processes and investment. For example, Market Leader used to be known as House Values. I actually love the company and their tools. If you want leads and a website and you want both, great company to invest in. But mark my words, do not do that if you Google your phone number or your name and you don't have a bunch of reviews backing you, because those leads are very, let's say, gung-ho for validation, and they will look up your business if you pursue them. And if they don't see what they think whoever's pursuing them is, if they have any kind of wrench in that, they're gonna blow you off or feed you something that is incorrect. Like they're not qualified, they're not looking, oh, they accidentally clicked on this. And that's what leads do. Leads will blow smoke at you if they don't want to work with you. And then a lot of people get frustrated and say, oh, it's Market Leader's fault, I want to cancel. No, Market Leader is amazing. Don't cancel. Just beef up your online presence and reputation and use it the right way to leverage it. And then you'll have a good conversion with that investment.
Yeah, I love that. And I think like that kind of goes to show, like when I was, my whole thing about like I had all these views on my profile, but I had no reviews. And so I'm sitting here thinking, man, these people are probably seeing me from Instagram, Facebook, email campaigns, because we have all this marketing that goes out. And so they're probably doing exactly what I do, which is like, oh, let me see this person. Okay, let me go look at their Facebook profile. Maybe check them out on Instagram. Okay, let me just Google them and see if I can find, like, I'm the type of person, I always try to see if I can find pricing right away. Like, let me just see if I even want to, like, find pricing right away. So I'll Google it. And so that's probably what was happening, something of that. But there was, like, no reviews on there. None. So I was...
Now, what is that? How does that feel inside? What's the feeling you get when you see no reviews?
Yeah.
Is it a panic?
Yeah.
Is it exciting?
Like for me, so, like if I didn't see reviews, I'd be like, I wonder why they don't have any reviews. I'm seeing them all over everywhere else, but I'm not, like, why am I not seeing any sort of reviews? And like, as the person whose profile it was, I was like, oh God, like I kind of felt like, oh God, like they probably just, like, I hope people don't think that I'm like not legit. Like I'm actually legit. Like I help a lot of people and I help them in a really big way. And I hope they don't think I'm not. That's what it was kind of like the two-sided feeling, right? So
right.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I worked for Sinclair Broadcast Group Television for 7 years prior to Oggvo. Most of us know locally in Washington, that's Como News. Mm-hmm. And this is pre-COVID, and it was an advertising opportunity for businesses. So I had people coming to me to advertise and inquire about different television, radio, digital packages. And at that time, if I knew what I know now, I would have definitely set up my clients for better success if I knew what was coming. But we didn't know COVID was going to hit the world, right? And that turned us into a review economy. So the best advice that I always give my clients, whether you're like super smart with this stuff or you're just not, I just tell them, hey, if your business is out there and you're doing anything to output wise, you have to understand that someone's going to Google you from that output.
Right.
You know, my wife and I, we do a lot of traveling all over the state of Washington and Oregon for our hobbies. And we're always trying new things, whether it's a restaurant, a store, a hotel, and we definitely pay attention to other people's experience, not to base it like that's going to be our experience exactly, but just to get a little feel for, hey, what's going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know? So it's just important. You know, moving forward, we have to have a backbone to everything now. Right. I think 10, 15 years ago, we didn't. I can call someone and say, hey, Linnea's the kiss the ground she walks on. And I'd probably, because they trust me, they would probably just pick up that damn phone and call you. Right. But now they're like, oh, Linnea Carver? Oh, let me check her out. Why are they doing that? Because they want more. Everybody wants more. I do too. Right. What do you remember the last thing you purchased that was pretty expensive for yourself, not business related?
Vacation.
Okay, me too. Mm-hmm. I'm going on a cruise next month in August, and we spent thousands of dollars, and we did a lot of research on timing, where to go, what cruise line, and we found the one. But that process right there was what made us choose. And I think everybody needs to have a protection backbone to their business.
Yeah, I kind of relate it to a lot like Airbnb, right? Speaking of travel, so on Airbnb, right? You go on Airbnb and you see, like, you put in your search parameters, it pulls up all these options for you. It fits your timeline, fits your budget. You have all these beautiful pictures. You have all the you know, everyone has their own bed depending on how you're traveling, right? You have your sleeping arrangements. You can see all the things. And the final thing is the reviews. So it's like, then you go and you look in the reviews, like, oh, they might have a lot of beds, but the beds are really uncomfortable. And so I kind of relate it to that, where it's like the reviews kind of tell the full story. right? So
Absolutely.
like you the pictures are like, you would look at, say a real estate agent or an entrepreneur, attorney, whatever, and they're looking at, you're seeing their ads, right? Or like attorneys are easy because you see their billboards everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
see them, and then you're like, okay, well, let me go. There's the picture. The picture drew me in. It's kind of like your Airbnb. The pictures draw you in. Okay, you go
Hmm.
and you see, you look at their website. Oh, their website's good and attractive. Okay, let's keep going. And then you like search so and so reviews.
Hmm.
And that's really where it's like kind of the final deal breaker for me on whether or not I'm actually going to pick up the phone, right? Because it doesn't
Absolutely.
mean I'm necessarily going to buy, but I will at least pick up the phone, or at least be like, okay, now I trust you to raise my hand a little bit. So,
It's like contractors,
right.
right? Like, I don't know one contractor that does anything that doesn't charge a pretty hefty fee,
Right.
right? Like, if you call a roofer, you can't expect to spend a couple $100 on a roofing service.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge investment. So contractors, that are backed with a positive reputation, they're doing well. The contractors that are not backed with a positive reputation, or they're just getting bashed online and they don't have a process to overcome that, and they just have a bunch of negative reviews, that's I call that a huge deterrent and a conversion killer.
Mm-hmm.
So you're absolutely right. Definitely.
Right.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the number one thing. What do you think is like your, obviously you gave the story of the bubble tea, but what do you think is your favorite like client success story? Is that your favorite one? The bubble tea one?
So Newcastle Golf Club.
Okay.
I call it the bougiest golf course I've ever seen.
It is. It is. It's beautiful. And the restaurant's
Yep.
really good. It makes you, I kind of want,
It
I wish I
is.
had a hotel because I'm like, I could totally be here for a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I got there bright and early. We were sponsoring a Compass conference. It was kind of intimate. There was around 500 attendees,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the one me and you were just at, where it was really intimate.
Yeah.
Nice audience, right? So I set up my booth, got my team, got my sales director involved, my CFO, Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. I love you, girl. She showed up and was right by my side the whole time. So I'm standing there and I'm actually presenting my solution to a very seasoned veteran, 30-year agent in the Seattle market. And I get blindsided, kind of interrupted by a gentleman who just bear hugs me. And, I'm a hugger, male, female, dog, I don't care who you are, I'll hug you. Right. But it was so out of the blue that it caught me off guard. So I kind of I thought someone was trying to attack me. I didn't know. I kind of blocked him. And when I stepped back, I noticed it was Don Jakes out of Whigby Island.
Mm.
Don came to me from one of my VAs
Okay.
that sets up my calls for me. And I presented the platform. We had a nice business conversation over Zoom. He ended up taking that leap of faith and giving me a chance and invested for the year. 6 months later, he's at the golf course bear hugging me, and I'm like, who is this guy? So the awkwardness between the lady I'm talking to and him, we all laugh, and I focus on Dawn. She had to go, and we get info, and I'm asking Dawn, what made you want to bear hug me, man? And I think I made a joke. I was like, I know I'm handsome and all, but he's like, no, man, you have no idea. Before I met you, I've never in my 20 years of business, I've never had anybody call me from online saying, hey, I found you online. I need this. We're listing our house. Can we meet up next week? I've gotten 3 listings from using your services in about 6 months. And I said, hey, do you mind if we go to the front of the golf course and we do a live video testimonial and I just ask you a few questions? He said, no, not at all. So we have a video testimonial live from Dawn at the golf course. It's on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
And that's my best success story because I personally have sold in my early sales career products that no one needed. It was only benefiting Shane,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as I matured, as I became a father, whatever you want to call it, I realized if I'm going to stay in the sales industry, no matter what it is, I want to actually provide a solution that people need and that's going to benefit them. So that way I'm never going to be that guy that's like, you sold me something. No, I work with Shane and his solution works. I like that better.
Yeah.
So when I found Oggvo, I took a year after Sinclair. I took a year to take some me time and really, because I knew my value and worth at that time, and I dedicated. I said, I'm never going to sell anything that no one needs again. And when I found Oggvo a year later and I did the interview and I learned the product and they wrote me the offer letter, I didn't counter. And I got asked, why didn't you counter? Because I saw the vision in the product and the solution and I can get behind it.
Yeah.
And if I can get behind something like that, that'll make my reputation grow as well and my credibility, then that fits my needs. And here we are 3 years later, 2 promotions later, I public face, and I've had the opportunity to be spoiled and flown out to all these states in America. Hopefully they send me to Canada soon.
Mexico? I'll plug it. Sorry, Mexico, vacation in Mexico. I mean, work in Mexico.
That'd be nice. I'll be there in October. Shout out Cabo. Here I come.
Love it. Love it.
Yep. And I found my spot, and I joke with Sam all the time, like, hey, good luck ever trying to get rid of me. And we have a great relationship. It's more of a friendly work relationship now. I don't view him as like my boss.
Yeah.
And I just love it, and it's fun. That's my favorite success story. Don Jakes, he's up for his 3rd year renewal, and I talked to him recently, and we're already on the calendar. And you know what he told me, Linnea?
Mm.
He said, get ready for a happy client because I want to upgrade my package.
Love it.
So I'm excited.
I love that. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. I have, some of my coaching clients, I've introduced you to many of them, and they're all like, I'm working with Shane. I'm so happy. Like they're all excited. But I'll say one of my favorite stories, I don't know if I have permission to give their names. I'm not going to, but you probably know who they are. But they, I've watched them over the last year, just kind of like really like absorb everything that I've taught them. Everything with like understanding their business, looking at their business from a bird's eye view. Because, one of the things I really want to help entrepreneurs and real estate agents do is like get out of the cycle, like the daily cycle, and really get into being like a CEO of their life, right? So just not even just a CEO of your business, but a CEO of your life, and just like be able to like have a vision and like accomplish that vision. And so these particular people, I've watched them put and do all the work, and it's all them. It's all them. But you came on one of our calls, and next day they're like, can we talk to you about Shane? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. They're like, well, what do you think? Like, is this something we should do? And I said, I wouldn't recommend something if I don't think you should do it. Like, I just don't introduce people to my clients, my most elite clients, without vetting them properly myself. And so they came on board, and was it maybe a month later, they were like, oh my gosh, we just got our first listing call from Google. And I was like, I got goosebumps just now talking about it, right? And
I did too, because I remember the text message.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, you did, and they're like, yeah, and we're really excited because we have our system in place, we have our end-to-end system. So I have them like as soon as you get like, there's a system that I help them develop with, which is like as soon as you get the call, do this and this and this to just 100% prepare. So when you get there, not only are you guaranteeing you're going to get the appointment, but you're spending so much less time, right? Because like real estate agents go to listing appointments. They're an hour, they're 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours. They walk away, they don't get the listing appointment. I'm like, wait, why didn't you get the listing? Right?
Yeah.
And it all starts with that online presence. And then, so they got their first listing and they got the listing signed. Then they got 2 weeks later, we just got another one from Google. And I was like, yes. And I was like, is this all because like, yeah, like we're doing great. And the next one that they got actually was their highest price point listing they've ever had in their career.
Let's go.
Yeah. And so now they're on listing number 3 from Google. And then I was like, do you guys know? So I went and looked them up real quick. I'm like, do you know that you rank number 4 for the organic searches on Google right now? And they were like, oh my God, we do. I'm like, yeah, you actually rank above your broker right now.
I love that.
And so it was really, really, really cool to watch that success. And so then of course they're sharing it and people are like, I want in. So like, it does go to show how like and that's just review. I mean, that's not even like, that's one person. It's the domino effect. It's one person saying, try this, them trying it, them implementing it, them seeing success. And then it starts to just build momentum. I mean, for you, but also for me, right? Because it makes me excited. I'm like, they're having wins right now. Their business is great in this time of the industry when a lot of real estate agents have no idea what they're going to do for the next 6 months, 12 months, a year, right? And their business is just taking off. It goes to show how reviews are so important for that. And I think like they don't,
Hmm.
I think the other thing is they don't have a ton of reviews. So a lot of people think you have to have a lot of reviews to have success,
Mm.
but they only have,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say only is a bit for some people. They have like maybe 27 or 28.
Hmm.
So what's that all about?
You know, when it comes to the amount of reviews, right? A 5-star tag, everybody aims for that. Are we going to have that? Maybe, maybe not. But that number, the quotation next to that tag, that 4 rating, 5,
Mm-hmm.
it does not matter how many reviews you have to dominate organic rankings. What matters is, do your systems have everything in place that are feeding the signals to these big dogs, right? A lot of people don't know this when we're talking about real
Mm-hmm.
estate. Google's algorithm is not the same as Zillow's algorithm when it comes around reviews and rankings. So if you have a system that's feeding Google and feeding Zillow and feeding homes.com and feeding realtor.com what they need to reward your business, you're winning. If you don't have those systems in place or you can't figure it out, then those companies are not going to reward you. They're going to approach you to buy their services,
Yeah.
which is good. Do it if you can afford it,
Right.
obviously. But, actually every day on my day to day, I check local rankings in different markets all over the country. And I think I hear the same thing. Why are they number one? They only have 10 reviews, but number three has 248. Well, it's not about reviews to rank. Reviews is why your phone rings.
Okay.
Okay. That's why it keeps ringing.
Mm-hmm.
Your relevance and popularity in Google's eyes is why you rank. So I've actually seen, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen businesses ranking number one with zero reputation.
Yeah, I have seen it. I'm like, but I'm like, if they're number one and they don't have the little sponsored signs next to it, so I know it's not an ad, right? Because I never trust to
No.
sponsor it. I'm like, how much money did you spend to get ranked at the top of Google? I don't know, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
I'll give you a secret.
okay.
I hope whoever's paying attention and sees this, write this down.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yep. Best time to buy a 2-week or 30-day ad campaign on Google. Best time is, drumroll, when you have a positive reputation backing you.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. That
Yeah.
totally makes sense.
Well, because like in the public's eye, if they're looking at like only 15% of all online traffic, according to Google, actually stop at the Google ads. 30 to 50% of all online traffic stop in that organic, we call it the map pack,
Mhm.
the map, Google Maps, that
Yeah,
organic section. The rest of the traffic online go below, which is those are all like corporate .coms, the
yeah,
Zillows, the
yeah.
Redfin, right? So the craziest thing to me is like, okay, so if a bulk of all online traffic stop right there, why would you not want to have a process to get you there and make it easy for people to choose you, right? I mean, you should want to.
Right.
Now, the reason I say about the Google ad stuff is because put yourself in someone else's shoes real quick. If you're looking at 2 ads, one has 10 reviews and one has 100,
Mm-hmm.
which one is more attractive to you? Before you click, which one do you think is more attractive, right?
100.
No brainer,
Yeah,
the 100. So when you click on that ad, that business just got charged. That's number
yeah,
one, right? If you call the business, they got charged again. Like there's pay per click, pay per call. There's a lot of stuff. So they're paying for that. They have to. But they drew you to them because your ad was the most, let's just say it, the sexiest ad compared to the others, right? So I always advise my clients, hey, if I get them on board and they just have a little tiny reputation backing them, once we beef this up, then I want you to have a budget for ads and leads. That's when. But we have to beef it up first because it's all about strategy right now.
right.
If you have a strategy to accomplish your conversion, because what are we really talking about? We're talking about conversion. We're not talking about, am I going to get listings? Am I going to get business? No, we're talking about converting.
Right.
If you have outbound investments, flyers, postcards, mailers, leads, park benches, whatever it is, you want to convert from that.
You have to.
Well,
Like otherwise you're just throwing throwing spaghetti at the wall.
yeah, and spaghetti at the cabinet never sticks. It eventually falls
Yep.
off, right? So, yeah, I have a client in Chicago. Shout out Tom Campone. I love that guy. He's ranking in the organic section, and then when he hit that number of a lot of reputation backing him, then he opened his ad budget. So he's doing both. He's doubling down. So he's got the Google ad and he's ranking. So he's pretty much dominating his local market, And if let's talk about competition, what are the top 3 industries that are the most competitive? Real estate's in there.
Yeah.
So if you're in a competitive industry and this goes to anybody, no matter the industry. If it's a competitive industry, you definitely want to have your strategies in order. You want to have your systems in place. You want to have everything consistent, and you want to have an edge on competition. Well, there's your edge right there. That secret.
Right.
Get your organic dialed in with a service like ours or yourself, and have a woman like Linnea or a man like Linnea, and have a system to where your systems are all working, right? And then the strategy is to, okay, let's double down. And that's how you dominate your competition as well.
Right. That's 100%. It's like, you got to have the edge. So like, go to Oggvo for the edge, and then let Linnea or the systems catalyst help with implementing the systems for conversion and the systems for long-term sustainability, right? That's really
100%.
That's how it all works kind of synergistically. What Shane has touched on here is something I see every day. High achievers, brilliant at what they do, who are completely invisible or misrepresented online. They have the skill, but they don't have the strategy to translate that into digital trust. This is a problem that we can solve. If this conversation is sparking a realization that your online presence doesn't reflect the true value you provide, then I think we should talk. I've opened up a few slots for a complimentary one-to-one strategy session this week. It's not a sales call. This is a focused deep dive where I am going to help you diagnose the exact gaps in your current strategy and outline the first 3 steps you need to take right now to build a reputation that attracts the perfect client. The link is in the description below. Let's talk about how to build that bridge between your impact and your income. So let's head back to the conversation.
And I want to give you kudos too. I had invited a large portion of as many people in my network as I could with the time that I had to join one of your sessions. I think it was a webinar you were hosting, and a lady actually called my personal cell phone, and she's like, "Hey, just don't want to. I'm kind of nervous. I'm really tight on funds right now. So do you think Linnea would be like offended if I didn't, purchase her product or coaching?" And I said, absolutely not. Like, she's a human at the end of the day, number 1. 2, she's here to help. And 3, if the timing doesn't fit your budget, she's still going to be there when it is the right time.
Right.
And I think since then she's been, I don't know, I didn't ask her, but she did call me, and she told me that she learned so much from, I think it was a half-hour webinar that you hosted, and she thanked me, and it made me feel really good, because again, I wouldn't refer you to my clients if you weren't doing good business, right? So, and that's another thing we have to watch out for,
right,
is word of mouth is real. It's never going to die. And if you do good business, people are going to talk about you. But if they talk about you and you don't have the backbone of that solid digital presence, that reputation, well, then actually you're throwing your referrals away.
Right.
So there's so many variables, and helping businesses is fun, right?
It's so much fun.
Like, it's so rewarding.
It's like, yeah, we could probably talk about that part all day, every day. Like, I actually had someone the other day who was on one of my calls, and she was saying how, because I always like to start all of my coaching calls with like wins, because I want to celebrate. Like, I want to, like, if people are always like, what are your wins? I'm like, this isn't about me, but I get people want to hear what I'm winning at too. So I love that it's that kind of a community, right? But she was like, I want you to know, I watched one of your trainings, what your 10K in 10 days. I have a training, it's a free training called 10K in 10 days. And it's a recorded training. So, and she watched it, and she was like, and I want you to know, I implemented it, and I actually picked up 3 buyers from that one strategy. And she's like, and I was like, are they real buyers? Or she's like, no, like, legitimately, we have buyers agreements signed, and we're going out shopping right now. And
huge.
And I was like, and again, goosebumps, right? It's like, it's just like seeing the reward is in watching other people from a free training. I'm like, it's free. So to your client, yeah, absolutely. Just come to every free training I have, hop on my calendar, join my Facebook group, whatever. And when the time is right, if we're meant to work together, I'm a strong believer in energy and the power of the universe and manifestation. And so, like, if the timing's right and it synergizes perfectly, the time is right. So
100%. Yeah. I can't count, and this should be good feedback for any business or any entrepreneur, right? I can't count how many times, to be fair, like how many people have came back to me after months that we had a demo, right? And it's like, to me personally, I don't mean to get too deep here, but I take that, it hits my heart so huge, because for them, it reminds me that I left such a good impression, and there was so much value. The only piece to the puzzle was timing wasn't there. Oh, now it is. It's so rewarding. Hey guys, I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
No melatonin pills.
Nope. It happened to me the other day too, when someone called me. I wouldn't say the other day, it was like about 6 months ago. And she called me up and she's like, I want you to know, I've followed you for years. And she was like, I think we're in a program together, probably some coaching program a while ago. And she was like, I'm ready to make a big change. I'm ready to go to the next level of my life. And she's like, and I want you to be the one that joins me on this ride. And I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't remember her. I didn't remember her, right?
Oh,
and that's why I was like,
yeah.
So I think it's like goes back to the whole reviews thing. It's like, you don't know who's looking at your profile. You don't know who's searching you. You don't know, there's literally no way to tell unless someone says, hi, I'm right here in your face. Yeah. And so I think it goes back to show why something like this, that online presence, is so important. And the other thing real quick about Google, like you said earlier, it's like your dual business card. Like I've noticed that the more I do better with my Google business profile, the more my Instagram pops up and my YouTube pops up and my Facebook pops up and like my website pops up. And I'm like Googling my name the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, this is a really bad picture from like years ago on my Instagram. So, but yeah, I've noticed all of that. So it's like, you don't know who's checking you out. So it's like, just be there, be present, and the time's going to come.
There's two things that never sleep: Vegas and online.
Yep. So true. So true.
Yeah.
It's alive forever. Like I searched my name the other day, and I'm like, I think I found a picture of me. I think I was young. I was probably like 12 or 13, and I was standing on a podium because I had my cross country team for high school had won the state meeting or the state meet. And so I was standing on the podium because I was part of the team. I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen that picture in forever. Way to go, Google.
Who are you telling? I just pulled out my passport because I forgot that it expired a couple years back, and I looked at the photo, and the photo was from 2008, and I was just a tiny little skinny little young Shane, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's so cool. I
love it. I love it.
One thing I will say about Google as well is Google is really it can be a very submissive beast if you understand Google, right? Do your research about Google. I always love learning. I love learning things, and I think if we stay a student mentally and we stay driven like a lion inside, we're always going to make the best moves that are going to benefit us in the long run. Google's guidelines and regulations never stay the same. So we have all this resources now, right, in the palm of our hands. Stay up to date on that stuff. Read into these things and just pay attention. I think be more conscious. Like you said, your Instagram and YouTube. I follow you. I love everything even personal stuff about Hero Bread. Right? I'm like, oh, I can relate. I found that too. It's my guilty. Now I don't have to feel guilty.
By the way, I found a seeded bread, Hero seeded bread now, so I feel even better. Because before it was the Hero white bread, and I'm like, ooh, but now it's like seeded bread. I'm like, and it's still just as delicious. Just as delicious.
Oh, it's life-changing. I found the Hawaiian sweet rolls Hero Bread. And I was like,
I think you told me about those. Where did you find that?
Yes.
Where did you find that?
I found them at Hagen's.
Okay. I'm going to go to
Hagen's. I found them at Hagen's.
I'm going to go to Hagen because we have one around here. It's like the only cool grocery store I have in my neck of the woods. But yeah, we're going to go to Hagen.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's kind of like, I wish I had a Walmart right next to my house, but we don't. We have to drive 30 minutes to a Walmart if we need a Walmart.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's funny.
I get it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so we've talked a lot about like business. I talked a little bit about bread. What do you think is like the best advice? Like any advice you've ever gotten? What's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
Best piece of advice I've ever gotten in my life.
Yeah. It's such a hard question.
Joel, it can be. It is absolutely. Joel Tovez.
Okay.
His name is Joel Tovez. He once told me, just be yourself. And he was actually mentoring me and listening to my calls because I was learning this approach, and I was learning the vocab and the talk track around this certain product. And he caught me not being authentic.
Oh.
And he heard it in the conviction. This guy knows my children. I mean, he knows me. He's like, that's not Shane. And when he said that, I had to take it for a whole couple days to chew on it and really analyze it and really just get internal with it. That was the best advice I've ever heard. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I think authenticity at the end of the day would always make me win, and it has in my life personally. I'm quick to tell people I don't know, but I will find out.
Yeah.
Right. I'm quick to tell people, hey, this is not a good fit for you or for me.
Yeah.
Just be authentic.
Well, I think that goes to show with your story about how when you left your previous role, you took a year off and you're like, look, this doesn't feel real for me. I'm selling things that people don't really need, you know? So I think authenticity for you is probably a deeply rooted value. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. Thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah. I think because that's, I mean, yeah, and it's actually interesting. So when I first started getting into like video marketing, I mean, I'm obviously super comfortable on camera today, right? I was not. In fact, my best friend reminded me the other day, she's like, remember when we went to that park and we were going to take some photos? So she was practicing her photography and she's like, I'll take some pictures of you. And I was like, okay. And I wish we had the pictures. I wish we could find them because I remember she's taking the picture and even just taking a picture, like not even, this is before video. I'm kind of old. Okay. So like, this is before video was even a thing. I mean, I think it was probably 20 years ago, maybe more than that. But, I remember her just taking a picture and
right. Like a Polaroid? Like
no, it was not a Polaroid.
There,
okay. It was a digital camera. It was a digital camera. And I just remember her like trying to like direct me to pose. But I remember just looking at the camera and feeling weird. Like just even taking a picture and you could totally see it in the pictures. She was like, you're just really not good on on camera. And it wasn't video, sorry. You're not good on camera. A couple years, you know, fast forward a few years, I get into real estate and I'm like, okay, you gotta be on camera, you gotta be on video, everyone's on video. And everyone's so uncomfortable on video, it feels like still to this day. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna be on video. So my very first video, I went live on Facebook and I was up in my room upstairs and I put my camera there and I was like, I get on camera and I go live and I'm like, hey everyone. So,
I want to watch this.
So today I'm going to show you 5 things that you should ask your next real estate agent.
I want a copy of that.
It was live on Facebook. I'm sure I have it somewhere. And so the next day, I had someone who's like, yeah, like, great job. You're really authentic. I'm like, that doesn't help me. And so my husband, I went and asked him to watch my content. And because no one wants to ask their spouse for feedback. Like, I mean, I want him to just love me, right? I don't want him to give me feedback. And
right.
Really, feedback is the ultimate form of love. We know this. But anyway, he comes to me like a few days later and he had watched, I don't know, I'd done a few of these videos in that super awkward state with my eyes wide open. And this is before Botox. And so my face didn't move. My face didn't move before Botox. Okay.
Oh, geez.
So he comes and he gives me this whole, like, I like to joke, it's like a yellow pad, a yellow legal pad full of notes. And he was like, if you did this, and he gave me all of these things to do. And the best advice that I ever got, and the reason I'm saying this is because the best advice I ever got was from him. When he was like, like, if you can look at something, he went to YouTube and he would show me some car videos. And he's like, just look at the cinematography, look at the filming. What is the story that the video is telling you? And his advice was like, the more you can be, the better you can tell your story, the better people are going to relate. And the more people are going to raise their hand. So it goes hand in hand with that authenticity. It goes hand in hand with being online, letting Google tell your story online, letting other people tell your story for you. It kind of goes all hand in hand.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the best advice you would give a business owner
A question for me. Best advice I would give a business owner?
or entrepreneur?
I mean, I like to give a lot of this. I'm kidding. Um, the best advice I think that no, I'm going to rephrase that. The best advice I know that I give is to really come from a place of purpose, to come from a place of intention, and build your business around the intention, right? A lot of entrepreneurs run into this, like, I have to work for money. I have to work for my business. And they get so focused on the direct result, which is the money, the income. And they forget that along the way, there's so many other things that your business can build for you. Your business can create for you. So the best advice I would ever give is, like, pull yourself out, like fire yourself. Like, that is the best thing I ever did for myself. Completely, like, if your business is not where you want it to be 100%, or you're not satisfied 100%, which most high performers are not, there's always some level of dissatisfaction, which is okay. That's what drives high performers to be a high performer. Fire yourself. Just, like, look in the mirror and just say, Linnea, you are not bringing the results that we want. So you have to go.
I love that.
And then, come back, like, refresh, rebuild, revamp, and then, like, rehire yourself in the new, the Linnea 2.0, the Linnea 5.0, the Linnea 7.0. Rehire yourself and be that person every day.
I love that. I can relate with that. That's awesome.
That. Thanks for that question.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What about you? What best advice? I mean, you've given a lot of advice and tips, but what would you give if you were to give someone the best piece of advice you would give?
Always stay uncomfortable, because every mistake is one step closer to success.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I got a friend of mine gave me a mug one day, and I was going through a pretty, transitional time period, if you will. And she gave me a mug, and it was like the best. Life happens after your comfort zone.
I want to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's on a coffee mug, legitimately. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, life happens after your comfort zone, and I'm like, or life happens at the end of your comfort zone.
Ooh,
yeah,
powerful. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I like that. And every now and then I'm like, I want that mug today, right? And so lately I've been on this, like, quest to challenge myself to do one scary thing every day. And the scary thing every day it's scary is different for every person, and every day I'm finding as I'm doing this, every day's scary is different than the day before. Every day, like today, my scary thing is so much different than what it was yesterday. And every time I'm doing something scary and I do it, I get more confidence. So I think that's why it doesn't become scary anymore.
Hey, that is powerful right there. That's 100% the truth too. Absolutely.
Like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I can do that. I sent a cold outreach to someone on LinkedIn the other day to just be like, hey, are you curious about talking? Like, I like your business. I like what you say online. I'd love to see if our businesses can synergize at all. It's literally all I said. And she was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, why did I avoid doing that for so long? It was so easy. And now I'm like, I want to go do more. Let me do more. Like, you start to get like that rush. But yeah. One scary thing.
Yeah. I mean, we all miss 100% of the shots we don't take. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Okay. So real quick, Oggvo, tell people like,
yes.
Here's your plug. Give us your elevator speech.
On the spot. All right.
You should have been prepared for this. Is your founder, is he watching right now?
I hope so. I sent him all the link. They're probably watching.
Yeah, he's probably like, you better get this right, Shane. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Oggvo's elevator. I mean, we help you with your online visibility and your conversion. That's it. It's my elevator. Like, online visibility and conversion. Let us help you. Give us a shot.
Yeah, if you want to get, if you're a real estate agent and you want listings that don't cost you any money, you don't have to buy the ad, you don't have to pay for it. Why
yeah,
not?
if you want to boost your conversions and your online visibility without buying ads and leads, check out Oggvo.
Yeah.
There's 3 people in this industry space that are like, the top dogs, I'd say. I have to give praise to the OG, Bird Eye. Love the company. They started this. Bird Eye and Podium.
Okay.
And then Oggvo. The only difference between like Bird Eye, Podium, and Oggvo is Oggvo is a private firm. They're corporate entities, so they're public. So most entrepreneurs and business savvy folks understand that. A corporate entity is going to be higher price points, less hands-on, right? More of a bigger company you're dealing with. Oggvo, I actually bought this. I love art, and I bought this canvas art that's like over 5 feet long. It's above my desk right here, and it's literally moons, like different photos of like an angle of a moon, because I always tell people Oggvo to the moon. I feel like we have something to prove, and we want to go public, and we want to have investors, and we want to accrue this debt, right? But in the meantime, we're going to stay really mighty and small and powerful until we get there, and we are going there. I think the average startup lasts around 3 years.
Okay.
We got 8 under our belt, many more to go. So
Love it. That's awesome.
yeah.
And I can
Yeah.
attest to that. I mean, I obviously ran into you guys at a conference, and then, I think that your customer service is what I would say probably sets you apart from a different company. I've never used another company, but I would say, like, I'm all about service. Service is, that is the only thing that sets any sort of business owner apart these days, is the level and value that they give, the level of service and the value that they give. And I will say that,
Yeah.
I think you guys live up to your name. At least you do. You're the representative that I know from Oggvo. I think you live up to the name. I think you live up to what you speak to and what you promote. So I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And, like, I've seen results from more. I mean, I think everyone that I've sent to you, Shane, I'm like, you're like, yeah, like, I don't know if I can't help them, I won't help them. But every single one of them, you've helped them. And they're like, okay, I'm going to sign up to work with Shane and Oggvo. I'm like, okay. I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't know if I've ever sent anybody that said no, they're not going to sign up to work with Oggvo. I think
to be fair, like, our biggest attribute that's behind the scenes is the fact that every single employee that has a certain role, I've personally seen them physically, like, go outside of their job requirement, where that's impressed me. Like, I won't say his name, but there's a gentleman in my company on the back end of the product and customer service that goes above and beyond for his clients, way outside of his job requirement, outside of his schedule. And I give him kudos for it. And I think it's huge, because you're right. It's the customer service. Like, if the solution is already proven to work, that's one thing. But if you have someone that you're working with and they're not just doing it for you, it adds another layer of value, I believe. I again, go back real quick to studying and being a student. Every real estate conference I've ever been to, there is a moment of downtime as a vendor. And that downtime, here's my secret to all you other vendors that hopefully see this. Take your time to watch other vendors and how they move and learn about their product.
Yeah.
And study them, because you'll be able to find solutions instead of the wrongs in that service. Follow Up Boss is one of our direct partners. We integrate directly with Follow Up Boss, and we've been at a Follow Up conference, and right next to our booth is Ylopo. Now, instead of me looking at Ylopo and been looking at them as competition, I looked at him as, what do you guys do? Teach me.
Right.
Cool. So if I understand that, how can I fit Oggvo to make the client of both of ours have a better experience? So that's our edge, is we want to grow so mighty and so big that we understand that we have to do certain things outside of what our job requirement is, and make those sacrifices to get to our goal. And we're not afraid to do it right now. Right now, Oggvo has a core of employees that share the same values and opinions and goals and mindsets, and just being adult and being punctual and being present is huge, because it benefits the clients. And then the feedback we get from clients that use the tools, that make the meetings, that take advantage of our hard work in the right way, hopefully, we get great feedback. I think it's always a two-way street. If I'm going to present to your clients Oggvo, I want to make sure that they understand what is Oggvo, how can they utilize it, and how can we help them, to where it's not like that spaghetti at the cabinet shiny object conversation, and then they're just mad that they didn't get results, but they didn't understand that, oh, I didn't know I had to do this. I didn't know I had to do this. So it's very clear now, hey, if you do this and we have this and it's this, it'll create this. Oh, I had a lady. Can I share a funny story real quick?
Of course.
I got stumped by an East Coast New Yorker 2 years ago. And it was because I didn't understand at the time a certain benefit in our product. And she chewed me a new one, and I couldn't overcome it because I didn't understand and have the product knowledge. And here's what it was. We have a social feature in the platform. So Linnea has a Facebook page, right? Now, of course, you can go on your own page and post yourself. You don't need me. But if you do that through the Oggvo system on your social media, it goes way outside your followers. Here's your followers, and here's the masses. So if you just do it through our platform on your platform, it goes to the masses instead of just your followers. At that time, if I would have known that, I would have said, no, let me explain it. This is why we want you to post on your social media using our steroid, because it does this. I didn't know that. And she beat me up. And
That's funny.
I learned a valuable lesson that
Right.
day to understand the value in the product. And I studied. Oh, I got to work. I think I took the rest of the day off and went in a private room and I started deep diving into the system and all the different features. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I love it. I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
also really
Yeah.
important that you said a minute ago, looking at your competition as like, how can you learn from them? And I think that's really important, especially in the real estate space. So one of my exercises I would say that I have people do is they work with me for a little bit. I have them do a market analysis, and not like a market analysis like a lot of real estate agents, real estate coaches that I have been involved with do, where they have you look at like how do they have market share, right? I actually want them to go and like research, like show me, like go to the ads library, go to the Facebook ads library. What ads are they running? Like what are, like when you search for them in your local neighborhood, what do you see? How many signs do they have out? Are they putting stuff? Like I really want to know. Like I want them to be able to look at their competition. I use competition loosely. I actually don't actually believe there's a lot of competition at all. I think
Right.
I don't actually believe that, but you say that because whatever. But I want them to look at their market and really understand like what's the dominated space, right? Like what is everyone else doing?
Yeah.
And then where is not dominated? Because when you really look at everything as a whole, you can easily find the space that you can occupy, right? If you're trying to occupy the space,
100%.
you're trying to occupy the space that everybody else occupies. Like in the real estate coaching space, there's a ton of people who are in the real estate. It's a very saturated place, but I already know the space that I occupy, right? I occupy a very particular space that is not occupied yet. And I've done that because you're sitting next to Wailopo and you're like, I know what you guys do. It's kind of similar because you directly integrate with Follow Up Boss. You have all these things. Like I know what you do, but it's not, because this is our space and that's your space. And so it's kind of the same thing. I think that's really important to look at business that way. It's really important. So
what's that? I'm old too, Linnea.
Us old people on the call with the gray hair.
Yeah. What was that cartoon? Our rings combined. Was that Captain something?
I don't know. I've never been much of a TV watcher.
That's how, like when I was a kid, like that was one of my favorite cartoons. You know, with our powers combined. I forgot what it was, but I'm
was that like the Power Rangers?
No, it wasn't Power Rangers. It was actually animated. God, I can't remember.
I'm gonna look it up.
Captain Planet. Captain Planet.
Okay. Captain Planet.
Thank you. I had a shout out. So that's my analogy when I look at all these companies, is not to find the negative. I'm looking for the fruit.
Yeah.
What are you good at? So I can match it with what I'm good at to make it even better.
How can we synergize? How can we synergize what we do together and help even more people at a massive scale?
That's the recipe for success that I hold on to dearly in my day-to-day. There's a company out there by the name of RealGrader.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
EXP just got RealGrader. I think RealGrader did an enterprise deal with EXP. Now, RealGrader is awesome. They do have major benefits to what they do. They're apples to oranges compared to Oggvo. So, like, when I've been at an event sponsoring and their booth is right next to me, I'll have people ask me, why should I choose them over you? And I said, no, you're looking at it wrong. You should choose both of us. Because if you combine what they do and what we do together, the result is huge. And I had a lady take what I said in Phoenix, Arizona at a Gen Blue conference, like 20,000 attendees for Coldwell Banker. Literally take that, get a demo from Oggvo and then RealGrader, and then sign up with both of us. And the CEO of that company walked over and took me behind the booth and was like, hey, man, you're a stand-up guy. And I was like, thanks. Why? I heard what you said to that lady, and you could have easily just bashed us and took the sale. And I was like, well, why would I do that? And he's like, you're a stand-up guy. He shook my hand and walked away. Yeah. Ran into him in Palm Springs at the Stronger Together conference for, it was the Berkshire Hathaway affiliate conference. Tom Ferry was keynote speaker. Well, I'm at the bar after hours having a cocktail. Who taps me on the shoulder? The same gentleman. Whatever he's drinking on me. We sat down, we talked. Great guy, great company. I do really like them. Yeah. So when in business, I think whether you're a realtor, you're a lender, you're a lawyer, don't look at it, be cognizant of competition, but don't look at it as competition. Look at it as how can we all use each other to level up? And then also, how can we separate ourselves so people know you do that, I do this, no one's enemies. Right. Let's all create unity and thrive together. At the end of the day, I eat, you eat. You eat, they eat. Let's all win. Why not?
There's plenty to go around. Like, yeah, I
Why not?
love that. Love that. It's like it's that abundance mindset. It's just like really understanding there's nothing, there's not a lot. And I guess I say this because like I literally talk to real estate agents every day who are like so scared of either being fully confident in themselves to say no to people. They're taking business they don't necessarily want to take, or they're just so busy. They're like, I work with a lot of top 1% agents, and their problems are just very different. They're the same problems. It's just on a different scale. And so it's like with every single one of them, I'm like, look, the more that you can step out, fire yourself from your business today, and the more that you can like look at your business from a whole, like I promise you, when you start focusing on being the CEO of your life, you start to develop better partnerships. You start to develop more leverage. You start to serve the right people. You start to repel the wrong people. You start to everything, like the more you fire yourself,
the pieces.
It becomes very synergized. Your energy and your efforts are synergized. So I love it. Okay. So where can people find Oggvo? Is it just Oggvo.com?
You go to Oggvo.com, you can book a demo, and then it'll go to my assistant who will send it to me, or John Cummins, one of my best friends / brother. Also Doug Roundtree, licensed active John L. Scott agent, also senior account executive for Oggvo. It'll go to one of us three. That's the inquiry. Or if you want to call Shane, 206-962-3489. Love to get you on my calendar.
Love it. Thank you. Love it. Okay. Yeah. So before we finish the call, I'm a reader. Yeah. Okay. And I'm always looking for good book recommendations. So are you a reader or a podcast listener?
Amateur.
Okay. Well, what's your top, what's the best either podcast you've listened to or book that you've read in the last 5 years?
Oh gosh. Well, I read a lot of fishing reports now and escapement reports because I'm addicted to chasing fish.
What is it? I love that.
Really
I actually have a VA on my team who he's an angler. He loves fishing. What he does.
Okay.
What he does.
Okay. Yeah. Washington State Fish and Wildlife, their website. There's so much cool info.
Oh.
And I found out my retirement plan on their website.
Oh, you did? What is that?
Okay. So Washington State has an invasive species of fish called the northern pike minnow. Okay. And what they do is they attack and feed on salmon smolt, salmon eggs. So when our local salmon in Washington State are spawning in our rivers, those little boogers are literally killing their babies, which diminishes salmon population. So the state of Washington has a program, and it's out in eastern Washington on the Columbia River, and you go catch these fish, you keep them live, and you turn them into the Fish and Wildlife. Well, you get paid anywhere from $6 to $8 per fish up until your first 500 fish that you turn in. After that, you get paid $10, and if it's tagged, all the way up to $500 per fish. So there's a report on there every year. The season is about 6 months. It shows the top 10 anglers that made the most revenue. And I'm talking people that are making over 6 figures in 6 months of fishing and saving the salmon population. I'm going to do that when I retire. Hey, I'm going to benefit the wildlife, and I'm retired, so I do want to make an income on top of my retirement and my Social Security when I get there and everything else, right? Yeah. I'm going to get bored. Most people get bored, so that's what I'm going to do.
I love it.
So I like to read. I love reading their website and keeping current matters on the anglers and the fish populations.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I've always admired people that like to fish.
Oh yeah, I mean fishing is great.
I'm not.
Get into it if you. Yeah, try it out.
I should.
Tell me how you feel when you catch a fish, and remember that feeling because it's pretty surreal.
But also, I think just the peace and quiet.
Yeah, it's a zen. It's I read somewhere, I can't remember where I read it. Sorry, but that when you're fishing, your brain releases natural endorphins, and it's just I've been frustrating I lost that fish or I lost that gear, that frustration, but I've actually never been my day's ruined because I went fishing. So always in a good mood. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Okay.
Podcast. My favorite podcast would be the Linnea Carver podcast.
Woo!
I've learned a lot from you, and I just want to thank you. My clients have learned from you, and I love and enjoy it, and I'm honored to be able to provide value to any of your clients as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Shane. You've been awesome. This is an awesome conversation. Appreciate you. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Huge thanks to Shane for sharing his wisdom with us today. If there's one truth we need to internalize, it is this. Your reviews are not for an algorithm. They're for the human on the other side of the screen. They're the final bridge between their problem and your solution. So my question to you is this, and I want you to be honest in the comments below. If a potential client Googled you right now, what story would your online presence tell them? Let's talk about it. And if these are the kinds of conversations that fuel you, the ones that blend deep strategy with authentic humanity, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We are building a community of leaders who refuse to follow a generic playbook, and your voice belongs here. And honestly, we're just getting started. So I'll see you on the next video.